Let's begin with the missile strikes that Iran unleashed on Israel earlier this morning. One of those at least hit the largest hospital in southern Israel. And Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu visited the site today, and he is vowing retaliation against Iran and their nuclear threat. And here to fill us in on the details live from Israel is Daniel Cohen. He is the host of the upcoming Daniel Cohen Show on Real Life Network. And Daniel, welcome back to Washington Watch. Thank you for staying up late. It's good to have you.
It's great to be with you, Jody. How are you?
I'm doing great. I hope, number one, that you're staying safe. And with that, fill us in on the hospital strike and overall what's going on right now.
Well, yeah, Jody, things are escalating. They're not getting quieter here. We woke up in the morning this morning to sirens, a double siren again, and more ballistic missiles from Iran. And this one was something, 30 ballistic missiles, in fact. We've been woken up in the middle of the night 3-4 times a night. But this morning, as you mentioned, Soroka Hospital, which has 1,000 hospital beds. This is the largest hospital in southern Israel. It serves about 1 million people. And all day, people here in Israel have been speaking of that this was a war crime, that this was most definitely a war crime carried out by Iran. Look, they've been launching at residential buildings. We've had fatalities here, people in their apartments sleeping. Think about my children are asleep. And there are ballistic missiles. Just think about this, America, for just a second. Your children are sleeping and people are launching ballistic missiles at your family in the middle of the night. Apartments, synagogues. And I just want to remind everybody that if you're hearing people talk about this being a war crime, this is just the latest in a series of war crimes. October 7th was bought and paid for by Iran. That was a war crime. There has been a system for decades of Iran creating this ring of fire around Israel. Hamas, the Houthis, Hezbollah, these are all terror networks that have been attacking Israel. That is a war crime. Israel has wrecked every single one of them, Jody, one at a time, systematically has taken them out. The emperor, Iran, has no clothes. And Israel has been, by the grace of God and by the strength of God, my goodness, if there hasn't been a lesson taught, you don't mess with God's covenant nation. Look at what Israel has been able to do in less than a week, complete air superiority, going all the way back in 5-6 days, in the first 48 hours. And so the questions that we need to be asking ourselves is not, did they cross the line? They've already crossed the line. And they keep crossing the line and hitting Soroka Hospital. I want to just say you one thing that was a miracle. Then I send it back to you, Jody. Just yesterday, Israel's health ministry decided to vacate. They evacuated the wing of the hospital where that ballistic missile struck today. Think about how hard it must be having people receiving chemo, people patients in a hospital bed, and those sirens go off. When we hear a siren in my house, I live just outside of Tel Aviv, we have 90 seconds to get to our bomb shelter in our basement. How do you move people in beds in 90 seconds? Again, the hand of God. I think it was just a miracle that just yesterday Israel said, we want to scale back this particular wing of the hospital, and today a missile struck, and there were no fatalities. I think it was about a half dozen people that were slightly injured, Jody.
Wow, that's stunning. Yeah. I was not aware of how people were moved from that section of the hospital just yesterday. No question, Daniel, the hand of God. There is no other way to explain that. Yeah. Real quickly, these strikes are being carried out against Israel are quite different from the strikes that Israel is returning. Real quickly, explain to us the difference of the targets that Iran is choosing versus the targets that Israel is choosing.
Yeah, it's the first part of your question cut out, but I think you were asking me about the difference. Look, Iran's heart here, Iran is a wounded animal. Iran is wounded. And it makes me ask myself the question, why did the world take so long? Israel is striking military sites, ballistic missile sites, nuclear sites. Israel has taken out military commanders. Israel has taken out scientists that are creating the nuclear weapons that Iran has been bragging for 46 years, Jody. Since the Islamic Revolution in 1979, they've been bragging, they've been saying, we consider you, Israel, they characterize the place I'm at as the little Satan and America as the great Satan. And as Israel has been strategically taking out one site after another, what is Iran doing? They're hitting residential buildings, synagogues, schools, and hospitals. I wonder, did you know that during World War II, Jody, there was actually an America First commission? And Charles Lindbergh, I think you all know that he's history. I don't have to go who he is. Charles Lindbergh actually was a chairman of the America First Commission. And I want to address this with this audience because I think it's really important.
We got to be real quickly, Daniel.
We're hearing people, this fracture of people on the right, the conservative base. And he said, hey, it's Europe's war. Let's not get involved. Hitler hasn't attacked us. Let's not. After Pearl Harbor was struck, the America First Commission was disbanded. How many lives could have been saved? Iran is vulnerable right now. America doesn't have to get boots on the ground, don't have to spill any American blood, just support Israel. Israel is fighting radical Islam for the rest of the world, keeping the fight here in the Middle East instead of it in America's soil. Jody.
Thank you so much, Daniel Cohen, host of the upcoming Daniel Cohen Show on Real Life Network. Cannot wait
God bless you, Jody.
for that to get underway. God bless you as well, Daniel.